This is the medieval town of Montpassier. Montpassier was founded by an English king, Edward I, in the year 1284. Edward I was, of course, Duke of Aquitaine. And it was here in the Hotel Edward I that we spent the first and our last nights of our 14-day holiday.
This town is the most perfectly preserved of all the Bastides in the Périgord area. You can see its fortified gateways and the beautiful market square. Within the walls of the city, and just off the market square, is the very modest church of Saint Dominique. We came through the beautiful countryside that you have seen, and we managed to skirt around Cahors. As we came to the natural arches alongside the gorge of the River Lot, we realised that we were nearly at our destination of Bouzy.
As we approached this narrow bridge, we couldn't believe that this was the only entrance to our village.
The village of Bouzy was so small and quaint, it was very easy to spot our hotel on the left of the village street. This is the back of the hotel with its lovely swimming pool. Our bedroom is just on the left, and off the green bit that you can see is the River Lot.
We arrived too early for check-in at her hotel, and the receptionist suggested that we drive to see Saint-Cyr-la-Popie, which was 4.5 kilometers away.
What a dramatic village this was. I was not quite sure I wanted to complete the journey. The village had cobbled, steeply sloping medieval lanes and the timber frame buildings clinging to the side of the gorge. They are faithfully restored by the artists and artisans who live there.
The church was built in the 15th century and it has a squat fortified bell tower.
Wood turning was the traditional craft of this village, and in many of the shops there were very lovely wooden artifacts. The picture you see is where we finally had some lunch.
These shots were taken from the car park of the village. Pontegaelic, with its two bridges, the old and the new, fascinated us, but particularly as we had been enjoying some Gaelic wine in our hotel.
This is the village of Ojol, with its beautifully preserved watermill pond. It's situated in the Causes de Quercy, which are the heights of Quercy. It's their AONB area, and it extends over 170,000 hectares. It has many dry stone walls and breeds sheep and goats, wonderful woods with many old oak trees. In fact, it resembles Ribble Valley quite a lot. Quite by chance, we found the Chateau de Surac. It was a refuge for Queen Margot in the 16th century. It was a typical feudal village. Just outside the village, we found this rural farming art piece. I must say the farmers round here must have a very good sense of humour. I reckon it's the wine. Saint-Martin-de-Verse is a beautiful little village with a pond by an old watermill. The river Verse is a tributary of the Lot. Today is the day before Pat's birthday, so I suggested that we stop and he could choose his lamb chops from this particular flock.
We decided to have our birthday picnic lunch at this duck pond at Aspidalek.
In this pretty birthday village, on the 2nd of June, on even numbered years, they have the test of the sheep, when shearing contest, sheepdog trials and tasting of local products takes place. It sounds again just like the Forest of Bowland. This is the Chateau de Sennevière. It's a 14th to 16th century castle, and it was only 4 kilometres from the hotel. It has a rich history of fighting the English Black Prince, and then the welcome of Henry IV into the newly renovated Italian Renaissance-type palace. This village of Lubressac is just off the beaten track. It's a tiny fortified medieval village. And there was a lady there who was picking figs from her garden, and she gave us a very generous sample.
As part of French resistance in 1944, British agents were parachuted into this village, and this plaque commemorates the deed.
This view looks over the Brave Valley and the confluence in the rivers Cere and Brave with the Dordogne.
We had a picnic lunch in this lovely little village of Boussac. The picnic area was behind the church and behind the graveyard, but really beautiful. The Baron was suspected of treachery towards the king and was beheaded in the Bastille in the 17th century. Ever since, on the 31st of July every year, the Baron's ghost walks through the chapel of this chateau with his head tucked underneath his arm.
Izy-Jacques is a well-preserved old-world town, atmospheric and very picturesque, with lovely countryside. It has half-timbered cantilevered houses and balconies. And you know, it was so popular it was used by the bishops from Sarlat as a retreat.
We are now 10 kilometers from the unsophisticated airport of Bergerac. And time for us now to say au revoir.